how many beneficiaries we have, today, of course, knowing very well that we were targeting around 250,000 students and all that, how many schools, and just how far it is now that it got a reprieve from the courts.
Yeah, so I'll just give a brief background about the feeding program. First, just to say there's always been some sort of feeding programs happening by the government. And ideally, most of them would involve having cash transfers to the schools, whereby now they transfer some kind of money. And then the teachers are responsible to buy maybe maize or beans, get someone to cook. And that meal was still costing the child about 100 shillings. And so because of that, a lot of kids would actually go hungry. So either they're not able to pay that 100 bob for the entire term in advance in the term. So at lunchtime, maybe they're told to either carry their own food or go home. And so many of them used to go hungry. In fact, about 1 in 4 kids used to go hungry. And so what we have done is we've come in and looked for a model that would work. So the model that we're using is called a hub and spoke model, which means that you central cook, you cook in large numbers, and then you distribute it to the schools around. The advantage of that, obviously, is because of the economies of scale. We produce meals in bulk, and then the cost of the meal goes down, and then we're able to subsidize it to the parent.
How many kitchens do we have so far?
So currently, as Nairobi County, we've built 10 central kitchens. Each of those kitchens has a capacity of 10,000 meals a day.
I thought, as far as I'm concerned, there was a budget that was allocated towards this program. 1.7, if my memory serves me right. That is 2023, 2024, right? And so an additional 7 was supposed to...
So Nairobi has a total of about 250,000 kids in primary and ECD public schools. So each kitchen, if each kitchen is producing 10,000 meals a day, and I build 17, that's about 170,000. We have an implementing partner who built a kitchen that has a capacity of about 60,000 meals a day. So we will be able to produce about 260,000 meals once the 7 kitchens are complete. But currently, we decided to do it in phases. So the first phase, we did about 80,000 children. That was in third term, using just about 2 central kitchens and a few other kitchens that we have. Currently now, this week, we've onboarded another 100,000 kids. So we're doing about 184,000 children. That's about 106 schools out of the 235 schools in Nairobi. And we look to increase the rest by May. So we've done it in phases because also we are learning and picking up a few critical lessons to understand. It's a very big logistical operation, and so we're picking up lessons as we move along. The parent is only paying 5 shillings compared to the 100 shillings they used to pay initially, and so we've seen quite a bit of feedback from parents saying how happy they are because they're able to save, and that they have peace of mind knowing that they've gone to work and my child is able to eat. In terms of sustainability, the county government has fully funded that program. And moving forward, we have actually institutionalized it in the county. So it is not just a pet project or something like that. There's a subsector, an entire subsector that sits in health called nutrition, wellness, and school feeding. And so, in addition to that, we have some regulations that we've sent to the assembly, including some laws that will come just to be able to completely institutionalize school feeding as a sector. And then after that, we also just make sure that we're in good conversation with the county assembly. We utilize the resources that are given to us appropriately so that we keep getting more allocations for it. So in terms of sustainability, we are able to sustain it using government funding. However, we will set up a corporation of sorts that will be responsible for school feeding, just like a Nairobi Water, but like for school feeding.